Welcome back to the lab, folks. Today we're going to have a look at some of these recently acquired AliExpress gadgets that we got. And we're going to have a look at the Fluke meter. I'm not going to go into it too much, but I want to open it up. I want to see, somebody brought up a question about, oh, I wonder if it's fake. I don't think it is from its weight and the way it feels, but let's open it up and see. Should be fairly obvious if it's a fake or not. And then we'll just test it on some ohms ranges and maybe put some volts into it and have a look and see how accurate it is. But very briefly. And then I go on to have a look at one or more of these Nearfield probes here. See how handy they would be to see where, picking up noise or stuff like that, where it's being emitted from. And then over here, I don't know if you recall or not, but I had done some modifications to this T7 tester here, putting these sockets in, putting a bigger battery in it, putting a switch on it, so some feed on it. And I'll leave links to those videos down there if you're interested in seeing that. And I made up this set of leads for it, but I found these leads, they're just a little bit too long, right? They're longer than I need, and they're kind of bulky. They don't fit into this nice little case that I got for it easily. So what I've done, I've taken the banana plugs off the end of it, and I'm going to make up a shorter set using these thinner leads here. And maybe about that long or so, just long enough to be able to test things. And I can always use longer leads if I have to reach into a cabinet or something like that to test something. But for just carrying around in this little thing, I'm just going to shorten these down a little bit and use these thinner ones with the smaller heads on them as well. Okay, let's have a look at this Fluke. Let's get it out of the box first. I've got a case coming for this too, seeing as it looks like I'm going to be keeping it rather than giving it to my nephew, but let's have a look at it. It's upside down. All the electrons are going to fall out, as Dave would say. Okay, there it is. It turns on. But before we turn it on much, let's take it apart. So we're going to have to take off this yellow rubber baby buggy bumper. I'll stop saying Dave Jones things. And it looks like we're going to have to remove this. So, if you just look at this thing, if you feel the weight of it, and you look at the way it's made and the quality of the plastic, I mean, it screams Fluke as it is. But let's get it open here and see if it's well made on the inside too. Okay, so here's the big reveal. There it is. All right, yeah, that looks like genuine Fluke to me. Care taken in every part of it is quite obvious. You got these big high voltage rated fuses in it, 1000 volts. You've got all this input protection here. You got a little shield on the side here. You've got very nicely done machined sockets. And you have the split sockets over here for doing the detection. To see if you got hooked up to the amps when you've got it on the volt range, it'll beep at you. And we'll show you that. Yeah, I have no doubt that this is a genuine Fluke meter. And just from handling it, I'm pretty sure it was. Okay, let's snap it back together. Okay, we're all back together here. So let me show you what this input alert is all about. So if you have leads going in to one of the amp ranges here, and you set this thing to a voltage range, it squawks at you, it flashes lights and all that sort of stuff until you get rid of that and go back to what you're supposed to be for this. So it's just a little indicator for you so you don't go around blowing $50 fuses, because I think that's how much they cost from Fluke. But you can get similar fuses for about half that price elsewhere. Okay, so let's start working with the ohms here. So put it on the ohms range here. And this is just a short. So this should come up to be 0 ohms. And this is 100 ohms. Okay, this is 100.028, which I verified. So it's within spec. This is 1000.11 ohms. Yeah, it's all well within spec, and I would imagine that. I mean, like, it doesn't make sense really to test the accuracy of meters anymore, because they're all accurate, even the cheap ones. Like, if one's third this price would be plenty accurate enough and would meet their specifications. There you go. Actually, it seems it comes up in current mode here. Why don't we just try some current through it? Now, this is perfectly good for a meter like this. This is only a 6,000 count meter, so this calibrator would be fine for it. Right up its alley. So we'll put this over onto milliamps. Put this in here into milliamps. And we got it set up for 4 milliamps, so that's just fine. It meets the specifications there. So let's go over to volts here. And put this on volts. Put that here. We should be getting 0 volts into it right now. Let's put 0.01 volts into it. That's within specifications. Let's put in 5.99 volts. Okay, now what happens if we go up 10 volts? Yeah, so now you lose a bit of the accuracy off the end there. So when does that actually happen? Because it's supposed to be 6,000 count meter. So let's try 6.1 volts. Well, it checks out. I'm fully confident this will do exactly what it's supposed to do. It's fine. It's the real thing. Okay, so what we're going to look at next are these Nearfield probes here. So I've got this Meanwell power supply here. They're nice little power supplies. I've got it set up to a load over there. This is a 15 volt 5 amp. And I got it set up to push out 4 amps, so it's fairly heavily loaded. And let me get a scope up there, and let's have a look around here at it. So okay, we have some nice switching noise coming off this transformer here. Considerable amount of it, so about a volt being picked up, peak to peak. Oh, this one over here, quite a bit less. These ones over here, practically none. Like I say, these are really good power supplies. What should we probe here? Okay, let's probe this toroid here. So okay, that's a completely different kind of waveform. That's obviously switching on and off there, that one. And of course we get the same sort of stuff over here. Yeah, very interesting. And this is the first time I've ever had near-field probes, so I got to do some a little bit of training myself to find out why these different shapes are these different shapes, why they're doing what they're doing, and learn how to use these things. So that should be an interesting little learning curve for me here. But that's a look at them. They certainly seem to work. They do pick up EMI and let you look at it on scope. So let's get on to making these leads. Now I got more of these on order. So what I'll do when they come in, I'll remake up these, and these could just be used as short leads for doing testing and hooking up things on the bench here. But for this, I want something maybe a little bit shorter. And how much shorter? Well, I would say about 2/3 of the length of the current ones. So we'll be looking around about there. So we'll cut these off at that length. Okay, cut these two off the same length. All right, and what I'll do with these, I'll put banana plugs on these as well. So I'll have these as a slightly shorter set. These are the much shorter banana plug to alligator set. So okay, so let's strip these down. I think these are number 18 wire. Already. Okay, now treat them here with a little bit of IPA. You get them to slip on. And you want to get them so that the holes line up. There we go. All three are done. And let's just put them on there and do a calibration with them on there. Turn it on. Okay, and we're all done. See if it measures this little capacitor with reasonable accuracy. Now, this one here is marked at 10 microfarads. I think the last time I tested it was right around about that. 11.36 microfarads, ESR of 0.92 ohms. That's all very credible. I could, let's see, try it with a different meter here. Yet another meter I got off of AliExpress. Everything here, everything you've seen today. I don't think I showed you anything that wasn't purchased on AliExpress. So turn it on first. Okay, 10.7 UF, so they disagree by about a UF, and they certainly disagree on the ESR. So I'm going to fire up my East tester up here. I'm going to let it decide. Okay, it's saying it's agreeing with the Furnisi. And let's see about the ESR here. Yeah, the Furnisi definitely is winning. It's coming up at 2.1 ohms. Okay, just see if these test leads are getting in the way. I recalibrated it using this calibrator here for the socket, and as you can see, it's still coming up in disagreement with the Furnisi and the East tester. It's only 0.7 UF difference, and the ESR though is off by 1.2, 1.3 ohms. So yeah, not great on the electrolytic capacitors, this little guy. But, I do find it very, very handy for resistors and for transistors and such. So I think it actually maybe beats out the Furnisi a little bit on those. But for capacitors, I think the Furnisi is a little bit newer design, a little bit more advanced. And it agrees with that East tester. So that's my reference standard around here. All right, folks. That's everything I had for you today. I hope you got a little bit of fun out of it. I know I did. One thing I got to do, I've got to teach myself how to use these things properly. I think they're going to come in real handy. But I need to learn a little bit more about them. Their topology is important. As you saw, that this was picking up entirely different stuff than this was in the same environment. So yeah, I need to bone up on that a little bit. And this meter here, if you want a Fluke meter and the kind of protection it gives you, because when it says Cat 3 600 volts, it means it. If you wanted to get a meter for that kind of use and you want to be saving a little bit of money, I think AliExpress is the way to go. Then again, according to Fluke's website, they're not going to honor the warranty. But they also explicitly say that they won't honor the warranty if you buy the older model from DigiKey or T-Equipment or any of those guys, and you'll be paying 30 bucks more for an older model. So I think, yeah, if you did want a nice safe meter, then this is a good choice, and getting it off AliExpress is an economical way to do it. All right, folks, we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.